to you by Penguin.
Hello, my name is Steve Coogan, and I'm reading my autobiography, which is entitled Easily Distracted. So titled because that was one of the comments that my teacher put in one of my school reports, with very good reason. Just a note to let listeners know that I won't be doing a perfectly well-modulated RADA rendition of the text, and if I stumble occasionally, well, that should add to the visceral pleasure and honesty of my imperfect delivery. So off we go. Acknowledgements. Thank you to Amy Raphael for co-writing the book with me, for guiding me, helping organise my thoughts, making me sound more eloquent, and tolerating my endless straying off the point with nothing more than a sigh. Without her, it simply would not have been written. Thanks to my editor, Ben Dunn, for telling me when I was boring and self-indulgent, which was not infrequent. To Paul Stevens at Independent Talent for being a very good agent. To Duncan Heath for his sage-like wisdom. To Anna Stockton for managing my life. I'd like to thank Loretta for making me laugh with her gentle mockery. To the two Claires, my daughter for teaching me more than I've taught her, and my big sister for helping with the book, helping me grow up, and always being there for me. To Mum and Dad. Introduction. Most of my life has been spent wanting to be someone else. If I pretended to be other people, then I didn't have to be me. Mike Yarwood, a stalwart of 70s television who had as many viewers as Morecambe and Wise, but who is strangely forgotten now, used to say, "And this is me," after completing his act. Coming as it did after his impeccable impressions of Harold Wilson and Edward Heath, it was always an anticlimax. We weren't really interested in seeing Yarwood as himself. When I first did stand-up, I did impressions. When I did my act, I'd do a rather distant, pompous version of myself. I affected a very sort of received pronunciation accent because I thought it would make me sound more palatable. I've got a slightly schizophrenic relationship with my accent. If I'm with a load of toffs, then I'll sort of affect their accent. If I go up to Manchester, I start sounding like Liam Gallagher, which is an aside, by the way, to the main text. But I just thought I'd put that. So if my accent varies, please don't give me grief for it. It's just the way I am. Some people might call it disingenuousness or hypocrisy. I call it a chameleon-like empathy. Okay. I continue to do versions of myself in Coffee and Cigarettes, A Cock and Ball Story, and The Trip, all of which was a way of saying, this is not me. Well, all right, it's a little bit of me. Until now, I've shared only versions of Steve Coogan. The real me is slightly less desperate for fame than Alan Partridge, slightly less irascible than the Steve who eats his way around the Lake District and Italy in The Trip, and slightly less libidinous than the version of me in A Cock and Bull Story. It took me a long time to find out who I was. I certainly didn't know when I was growing up. My views weren't properly informed. I used to parrot opinions that I thought sounded good. I was in some ways tribal, cloistered by my Catholic upbringing in suburban Manchester. A bit naive, a little bit unsophisticated. I used to value the fact that I didn't alienate anyone. I didn't want to say anything that might cause friction. In pursuit of an easy life, I would consciously keep quiet about anything contentious. When I hear third or fourth hand what people think about me, and it's ridiculously wide of the mark, I perversely take some comfort from it. Oh good, they don't know who I am. There are countless examples of those who conform to a role thrust upon them by the media, and unwritten pacts to serve each other. I don't like being defined by others, so for those who are interested, I'll try to do it myself. It'd be ridiculous for me to pretend that I've been a paragon of virtue, nor have I always been honourable, but it's my work that I've offered up for judgment, not my personal life, and I'm proud of my work, and if people don't like it, then I failed. Judge me on the work, not on the cocaine and the strippers. You won't find any grief porn in this book. It isn't Angela's Ashes. I didn't learn my comedy on the playing fields of Eton, nor am I a horny-handed son of toil. Andrew Collins wrote a book called Where Did It All Go Right? Growing Up Normal in the 1970s. A title.
Sample complete.
Ready to continue?